Well, Tom, let's see who's going to win here on Route 66.
Oh God. I'm not good at Overwatch. I can't play. I'm not good at CS either, but I'm definitely not good at Overwatch.
I was going to say. Wee.
I've never even competed at like an Epic LAN or an iSeries, so
Have you not?
What even am I? But yeah, we're going to be going into our pistol round. Decent amount of utility invested for the T side, so it does look like they are men with plens. And we are going to see if they can work this one out. A little bit of a bait and switch. I like this on the B site. I have a secondary man in the corner. We are going to have Long looking to be taken, but it's challenged by EURONICS already. Now there's nobody on short control, but this could actually work in their favor. They're not going to spot Crispy though, and he has to make his way back a little bit further. Has support from his teammates, and already so much damage done. Dinks all around, but no kills just yet.
Yeah, everyone is transferring early damage. Lazar on 2 HP, Thomas on 3. Crizzy and Crisby, they actually get out slightly less unscathed on 22 and 26 HP respectively, but the men with Ven and Endpoint, can they pack things up and ship it towards the A site and actually find success, Thomas?
No, he's only on 3 HP, so plenty for him to attempt. But we are going to have that push out coming back in, and actually they've been bamboozled. They're all rotating over towards this B site. Meanwhile, Thomas looking for opponents, expecting there to be someone there. But it is not going to be the case. Murbit will find 1 and 2, though. He's already kicked things off as he does on this map. They've still got the kit as well. But the remaining players are at least the healthy ones. The men on their last legs have gone down. Cressy tagged. Pulse looking for a little bit more. He'll fall as well. Back into a 3v3. And Max's flank could have been perfect. Murbit with another. Like, come on, man. 4 kills in the pistol. This is just his map. This is his hometown.
Yeah, I mean, they've read him there as well. Like, they tried to counter it. You could see they had an inkling of what EURONICS were going to be doing into this round. They tried to play against it, and they've just been blown out the water on the retake. That's unfortunate for him, really. Both of the 2 Dink players get taken down instantly on the reface. At that point, Shiki had to try and push the whole way back round. He was miles away, couldn't really aid them. Max tried to go for the push out, but didn't get the kills on the players that he needed to, and it all falls apart on the pistol round. EURONICS get the first, and they're good on these CT sides, Tom. They can build from this quite easily.
Yeah, definitely in the matchup versus Endpoint. That was not so much the case. That nade is absolute filth, though. Can the T-Tower do any damage? That's the real thing, because they're buying back up in the next round with those AK-47s. Lazar already finding 2 and a third, not so far away. As Cressy is down just 8 HP, and in fact, Murbit's tagged as well, although quickly they will dispatch of their opposition. I believe 1 rifle has actually been lost, so not going to be ideal going into this scenario. And it is now just going to be T-side coming back in with those AKs. Utility will be a bit of a miss. But the fact is the CT side aren't in a strong position here.
No, hardly. EURONICS, they're just looking effective. I mean, 2 SMGs there, both the MP7s on Favin and KZ. Murbit, Cressy and Crisby have an M4. They're playing aggressive as well. Look, they're just going to be pushing up, going for this push round and seeing if they can actually get the early entries. There should have been 2 frags found with the SMG, but actually there's a trade. Endpoint now have the advantage, but Murbit, he's confident, but is that going to be his biggest downfall? Potentially so. He pushes in, and Pulse, he's going to leave him lifeless on the ground. And now it's up to Crisby to really clutch it, Tom, as they go for the base, but a double kill comes in. Crisby with a hat-trick as well. He's just spat in their faces.
Lazar now left to try and turn the tide. We were wondering if he's going to have a big performance here, and they'll need just that. He hits the headshot onto Cressy, but both the remaining players are low. No utility, and this is the play that can sometimes catch these players off guard. As he's going to go rotating back towards the A side. This gives him the chance to completely reset this 1v1 battle, as he can get the bomb down wherever he wants. He can now begin the mind games.
Well, bomb goes down, Lazar. Looking for another frag here. This is going to be an awkward one to play around. It's a 1v1, both players on low HP, both of them with a flash each to work with as well. And Crisby coming up from long. Has the defuse kit. It'd be getting close. Luzza expecting the rotate in from the B site. Instead, he isn't coming from stairs. He's just going to run straight up. Luzza. Is he going to hear this? Taps the bomb. Waits for the peek. If Luzza peeks into it, he's just ready for the attack. But Luzza, hot off the draw there. Quick off the trigger. And he finishes him. Crisby down and out. The economy for EURONICS as well. You can see the crack starting to show, Tom. It's not fantastic. And they're actually going to buy up and play around Crisby's AWP. But this was just phenomenal. This should have been the round over right here. They're lucky Luzza's actually gone on to individually clutch this. And I mean, if Crisby would have been closer towards short, they could have just got that early trade kill and that would have been over instantly.
I think, yeah, he was going hunting for information, obviously low as well. This is Endpoint's chance to build into this T side. Obviously, one player surviving for them, so they are also on the reset, but Max catches the boosting player. That AWP will now fall into the hands of Crisby instead. But that's a good start for Endpoint. Still having the favorable buy in this scenario, but not by a huge margin. They still have some limitations. T's not going to be sneaking their way through, but you have to bear in mind there's still 3 players on this B side ready and waiting. One of them with the AWP. The flashbang is well timed. Luzza still going to go for the nade, but now it's Faven stepping up to the mark. And Crispy's still there with the AWP, at least he was. Trades come in once again with the CT side coming out on top, and Shiki just about wins his duel. Unfortunately, his teammate hasn't. And EURONICS will bounce back, return with a vengeance, and more importantly, send Endpoint to nothing.
The return of the Mac from EURONICS there. Endpoint. It's not good for them. You've only got Glocks. It's a reset round. They would never want to see the previous one off the back of a huge clutch from Luzza, and it all goes to waste. It means nothing. And EURONICS, their CT side can be very effective. They just need to keep adding to this as well, because they're going to be so confident off the back of our reset and Endpoint. This should be a 4th round for free. If they group up, Tom, looks like it will be played towards the A site in the late round here, with just Mighty Max trying to be the delay potential and the thorn in their side over at B.
Barely anything here. It should be fairly easy for EURONICS to dispatch of these remaining players. You have to be careful they don't get overwhelmed. They don't want to hand any weaponry over to this T side. Cressy still looking for a little bit more. Stat padding operation. It is going in that exact fashion. Thomas does manage a dink, but ultimately it's left on to just Mighty Max, and a flawless round from EURONICS. Boosts their economy, boosts their morale. And even still, it's a few scenarios that have come across like this for Endpoint, where they're ecoing in positions that realistically they can't buy in the next round anyway. And so then they go, this is the thing that actually tells me quite hard when you see this, is that clearly they didn't work out the economy so well in the last round, so they hit more of a hard eco, when they could have sort of had more of a force buy in the last, like one good force buy. Okay, then this round would be more of an eco, but at least then you had the chance to actually do damage and actually reset, rather than giving a flawless round to EURONICS and then going for that sort of reset round.
Shiki is all the way up long, just going for the push in towards the A side to try and get the bomb down. They've gone for the push early on in B, then group back and gone towards close comms. And they just get destroyed by Murbit. And now Shiki's got to try and go for the bomb plant on the A side, but they're covering the angle, so Shiki shouldn't be able to get in.
There's 3 players here.
This round's gone awfully for Endpoint.
Does manage to get himself a kill. That'll be all. I think he'd need some sort of invisibility cloak, which also mutes the sound of the bomb. If he can find that, then maybe he would have got it.
Yeah, unfortunately that wasn't available to him. So Endpoint, still only 1 round, but here comes the rebuy. Luzza on the AWP, AKs for everybody else, and can they actually slay now? Can they get some momentum back in their favour? As they need a jump start, and they need it now.
Well, we're going to have that AWP back onto Luzza. He did manage to win them their 1 round on the board with the clutch that he pulled out in the 1 versus 2. Max again has had a bit of a quiet start, and I think, although maybe not the most expected star, I think he definitely could be on this map from what we saw previously. Thomas looking to make the play through the party. We are just going to have Cressy again, playing a little bit more aggro than the rest of the team. I believe that they might have some sort of boost in play over towards the B site as well, just to net them that extra bit of information, and that's quickly going to fall off as they start to hear the footsteps and the plays. But it's actually Pulse to catch a man running through Monster, the Lurker, doing his job perfectly. But this may start to bring questions into the head of Endpoint of, okay, we found a pick over towards B. Do we now make some sort of play in that direction?
Smoke strap, on towards the A site. Use it to try fake them, bait them in, fall back, go for the B play. They have actually forced the rotate, but Merbit's there, and Merbit, he's the mean machine, the dominant force that is the lifeline for EURONICS. Takes a lot of damage, eventually he is punished by Mighty Max, as he is going to go for the bomb plant as well. Shiki and Max are the two remaining men on the Endpoint squad versus Crisby and Cressy. They've got utility, but they have no HEs. They can't transfer any damage in, but it doesn't matter. Crisby finds the headshot on Max. It's all down to King Kong to clutch it.
He's going to be sneaking in the back lines. At least has the position, but the problem is his health is so very low. Even a single bullet can be enough. He's holding the headshot angle. And may just be baited in for a peek onto that diffuser. The thing is, the time's now starting to tick a little bit further away, and the CTs don't actually know where he's going to be, but Cressy, it doesn't matter in the end. He will find that headshot. Could save an AK as well, which they will. And the CT side are going to get themselves another round on the board. The difference, though, is at least a bomb plant comes in, so Endpoint can continue to bombard their defense.
Yeah, they can get a buyout, but they're still not finding any of these actual rounds. And at this point, Tom, there's only so many times that you can play for cash and get yourself into a better position, because the real commodity is going to be those rounds. You're in a massive disparity already. 5 rounds between them both, and by no means have they been really too close rounds either. They've been pretty crushing when EURONICS has actually been able to pick these ones up, and that's a tag and a half as well there on Cheeky.
See again a big advantage for the CT side. We have seen quite a switch up, in fact, in terms of EURONICS over this series, that their CT sides have definitely looked the stronger, and that does worry me, because on this map I was not impressed by Endpoint CT side at all. Like, I think if Luzza can start to kick off with that AWP, then maybe they can open things up, and that's just hasn't been the case over the last couple of maps. And I don't know, I'm starting to get a little bit worried for the UK's hope in this tournament. Of course, the winner of this does go into the grand final and fights for the full 50k. There's nothing for second place. But a pretty brutal system, but I have to say, I kind of like the brutality. We are going to have KZ still around this angle with the AWP. 35 seconds left on the clock, and Cressy, well, that's an easy execution. The dart into the back of the neck. And while they're just being picked apart one by one, the time even starting to become a 6th member of EURONICS. And Endpoint, I don't think there's any way they get back into this round.
No, hardly at this point. I mean, just Luzza left now. Max has been killed. Luzza's going to get killed by Crizzy as well, as they'll find that frags. EURONICS just miles above the competition here. Endpoint struggling. They're going to have no cash either. This should be an 8-1 scoreline. They need so much more on their T side, Tom, and everything's against them.
Well, at least in this round they are going to take the hit. I'm kind of hoping that after this round they take a pause as well, because this is starting to look more and more like cash, and I think if that's in my head, it's almost definitely going to be in theirs. Cressy, well, this is just what I'm talking about. We are starting to get the almost deja vu of confidence. Another kill comes in for Cressy before he's finally dealt with, and they've got to get rid of KZ, who's pretty filthy spot, although he's actually baited out by the flash, and that will mean that Max can get himself an AWP to play with. They do have multiple players around that bomb already. He's just going to be waiting patiently. He's got to be wary of Merbit pushing him from long, and in the end, it doesn't even matter. 8-1, a continuous streak from EURONICS, and well, the buy can come back. I think that really Endpoint do need to take something to slow this down, because it's getting a little bit out of control. I will say that realistically, this is definitely the best buy we've seen from them. However, now even the double orb setup is thrown into the mix, and EURONICS, they're even going to switch things up once more.
The B-side attack coming through. Crisby allowed to go for the pick, gets the first snipe down on Thomas, and Shiki will trade it back as they sprint their way up. Shiki actually in the close range position. Mervin, he didn't realise. Fathom will be able to get the trade and the follow-up kill, taking down 2 before Lazar punishes him with the AWP. And they're into a 2v2 battle, but they're paranoid. The flashbangs that are coming in are keeping them in disarray, and they're not really fancying their chances as they're going to back off. You've got 1 minute and 20 seconds here. So they might as well try and take it a little bit slower and see what they can get out of this round. Lazar and Max on the clutch.
Yeah, and actually Cressy in such an open position. There's no way he can be traded here, but maybe it won't matter. He's going to be able to fall back. He's wary of the player coming in from behind, and Lazar needed to hit that shot. That was his opening back into the round. Instead, he's going to try and reset this position, take the knowledge away from his opponents. Obviously scared from the previous round, and I think that's where EURONICS are starting to get into the heads of these Endpoint players. He's going to go running straight in. The safer plant approached, but even then KZ still at the angle, and the Molotov going to be forced in. It looks like the panic may start to arise for Lazar, but he is going to at least get it down and left into a 1v2.
Lazar trying to see what picks he can get off with this AWP as they're going to be pushing up towards him, trying to go in for this fight. KZ just barely showing a little bit ahead. You want to try and go for this burst. Tom Lazar trying to play around the smoke, misses the burst flick, tries to get himself back into a defensive angle. They're going to need to do something pretty soon. Needs to be a quick, smart play. Lazar, he's toyed with them all, played a game of ring around the rosies, but they still get the kill and jump on the bomb. They will get the defuse. That is now 9 rounds for EURONIC. You wonder when Endpoint realise things have already got a bit too far gone.
Yeah, 7 rounds back to back for the EURONICS side, and yeah, I just wonder, is there anything there now for Endpoint? Because I feel like if you're a team that's mentally still in the game, you take a pause, you slow it down, you have a chat, even if you just take the pause to try and slow the momentum of your opponents or make them think you're going to change things up. Because I feel like if you just keep barreling into these rounds and saying, okay, we'll win one eventually, well, definition of insanity, right? It's doing the same thing again and again. We are going to have Mervin looking through the edge of the smoke. Has he been spotted by Thomas? No, he hasn't. It's a one-way, and that's just as filthy as it gets. And it always seems to be Thomas as well, falling whenever he's over towards Monster, which has got to be painful. Nice shot from Shiki, but he doesn't expect the second, so I imagine he'll go down to Faven. But Pulse has found Mervin. They've dealt with him finally. Crisby going to be on the site, though. He's had some huge rounds as well. It's going to be another one. 2 kills for him. Mighty Max, all that is left. As the smoke will go down to try and section off these players, but he doesn't know where the second one is, only the first. May try and wrap back around, but he is stepping, and KZ's going to hear that all day long. 10-1. Now the T's don't even have that much cash. I would kind of want to see them go for pistols here in a normal scenario, but you could understand if they went for a bit more.
They're going to be left in a situation like they were on cash here, Tom, if this carries on, where going through into that second half, they're not going to have enough of a buffer to actually survive if they lose the pistol round. So you need to change things up right now. In reality, I mean, the best case scenario would be to win the next 4 rounds on the trot and actually get yourself to a 10-5. Then maybe you'd have a fighting chance, but that's highly unlikely, especially with the buy they have into number 12. So Max dies, the bomb's just left in the open. More frags should be coming through from Cressy. He will be killed off by Shiki, so they get an M4. Lazar trying to deviate their attention and divert them to focus on him. Because he misses the shot, but Lazar, he's already been taken down, and they're on such low HP, this will be that 11th round, you'd imagine.
Crispy picking off one more, and the nail put in the coffin by Mervin. And again, it's looking like a stellar performance across the board from everyone from EURONICS. It's not like anybody's fallen off. Mervit's not needing to sort of carry the way anymore, and even he's still having very impactful rounds. 13-4 at the moment, but he's not at the top. Cressy currently leads the way, but I feel like it could be any one of the players on this EURONICS side. Once again, we get that AWP back into the hands of Lazar. But we're waiting for someone to arise to the occasion. And normally, the scariest prospect with me, I feel like with many in-game leaders, if they're topping the board, that normally means their team is losing. I always remembered it with like Pronex would top the board. That would always be a scary factor. Same with Blade. And we're seeing it here with Shiki. He's currently top. And I think he needs some of his stars to shine.
Well, that's the thing, right? He shouldn't be the top fragger.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's not the person that needs to be getting these shots. It's on your Luzzers, your Thomases, your Pulse, Max as well. They should just be doing so much more damage here. And I think Endpoint kind of defeated themselves, Tom. That's what it feels like at this point.
Well, yeah, we spoke about whether they'd be able to bounce back from Cash, and I'm not sure they ever did.
Yeah.
Nice shot from Max, though. Sometimes an individual play can be enough to enlighten a team, to bring them back from the brinks of death, and that's exactly what Endpoint need here. They need themselves a hero. Fact is, though, they've still got to deal with KZ. Faven will get one, but eventually traded out, and they are whittling away the AWP, but a flick that's barely even seen. Shiki now, again, is left alone to try and clutch this out. As manager first, but with no friends beside him. The EURONICS side, manager 12th, and I can't help but think this is done.
That is wild. That flick is absolutely ridiculous. They're just getting shut down right now. Every round, they're just getting obliterated. So the buy that comes out into round 14 as well is 2 AKs, 2 AWPs, 1 UMP, like 4 smokes, 4 flashbangs.
What would you call this buy?
Tilt,
That, Steve, taking the words out of my mouth.
Double AWP, 1 on Pulse, 1 on Luzzer. I mean, maybe Pulse can actually be very efficient with the AWP. He's definitely a power player in the right moments, but
the only thing I would say is that because of the level of aggression from EURONICS, this could actually work.
ooh, Luzzer though.
Okay, he made up for it. It's fine. He gets himself that second kill. Max close to going down, but yeah, because the CT side have been so aggressive, this double AWP setup could actually work, and well, they are tearing them apart in this round. They've now got 3. Obviously, one of those was picked up because it was a UMP onto Shiki, so definitely worth the upgrade. Murbit, well, his team has so much cash that he might as well give it a go. 1v5. It'd be 1 for the highlight reel later on if he can do it. I wouldn't bet against this man. I should. But at this point, I won't.
Finds the first Tom. And the second Murbit. Ocean man, take me by the hand and take me to the land as he pushes his way up, going for the play on the site. Gonna fluff the smoke a little bit though, and eventually takes down Max. I mean, he's dominating everyone. Help me understand, Tom. Is he gonna be able to clutch this one out in a 1v2?
He's trying desperately. If he got the smoke right there, he wins it, I reckon. Because they both had AWPs as well, so they would have had to hit the perfect shot to get him. That's... See, even though the round was successful, you look at just the end of it, and if genuinely, I believe if he didn't muck up that smoke, he wins that round.
Murbit has just been unreal on this map.
Yeah, well, last 2.
Yeah, he's just been doing everyone in. Like, he had a really slow game on Inferno. He didn't perform. Overpass, wrecked him. I mean, Inferno... Like,
Cash.
Yeah, sorry, on Cash as well, just destroyed him. And coming into Overpass right now, he's wrecking him. If he can keep this up as well, it's just going to be wild.
Well, they have a chance for 3. And I think that's at least a better scenario. So if you lose the pistol, you have a chance at a buy. Whereas if it's 13-2, you lose the pistol, that's it. You have to force. You don't have a choice. Already, though, KZ will pick up that first. The AWP will be retrieved. Still sticking with the double AWP. Actually not onto Pulse this time, and never mind, he doesn't have anything anymore. It's going to be another round looking like it's going the way of EURONICS. And just notice how they were much more passive in their hold this round. Sitting back, relaxing, and it is flawless. What a way to finish off the half. And again, just look at that scoreboard. Please show me the weak link.
It's just not good enough at all. There's nothing there. And they've not used a pause once as well.
No, yeah, that's the thing that's...
Like, go for a pause. Talk about it. You can't just get yourself into a position where you're assuming that the game's already over. You're battling out for a final spot to try to win yourself 50 grand, and they just look lifeless, Tom. They look they don't even want to be here.
Well, we've seen them almost manage a turnaround when we saw them play this map on the T side versus EURONICS not too long ago. They need to pull off, well, they need to first off pull off a comeback, but pull off one that's even greater than the one that they needed to before. They've got the boost in play. It's already been spotted. It would just have to be a fall-off. Pulse looking to try and catch up. Obviously, Merbit feeling so confident. He's going to go even further aggressive. Already, oh my goodness, this man in pistols as well. He got a 4K in the last.
Oh.
He's already got 3 in this one. Only Thomas is left. He's got a couple of quick kills, but Faven will remove him. 14-2. I think it's done.
Yeah, it's over. There's no way. Endpoint didn't get a buffer at all. I mean, they've only got 2 rounds. Obviously, you lose the pistol round. You have the knock-on effect. They're going to probably go for the same buy that they did last time around. It will just be 5 CZs and 5 sets of armor. Try and hope to at least get something out. And EURONICS should win this round, Tom. They've got 2 rifles there in the AKs. You've got 2 Galils as well. KZ just on the Mat 10. This should be an easy one for them. Get yourself to a 15th round. Endpoint will have no cash, and then you can just take it 16-2. And those will be 2 record fast maps as well.
Yeah. Let's see if they can at least bring some life, or breathe some life into this Endpoint side, or, well, will it be GG the end as the T's just look to close this out? You can see that they're not going for any sort of gambles in this round. They've got rifles on the majority of players. Only KZ sticking with his Mac. Lazar is going to be well placed. Unfortunately, Faven hits him with the timing. Leaves it already with a man disadvantage. They've got those trusty CZs, and we've seen them steal rounds like this before. But most of the time, there was at least a little wiggle room when it came to the mistakes that were able to be made. From here on out, there are no mistakes that can be made, as already a second kill goes in for the T's.
Play towards the A site. The only man that's there is going to be Thomas, and he's actually down just on close towards B as well. So A site's actually fully open. They're going to be able to storm in. They can get the bomb down. Oh, Pulse and Cheeky as well. If they go through con here, they're just going to be obliterated, and they just want to go for the safe. They don't really want to run the risk of losing these weapons, as they're going to have nothing. Luckily, they exit together back towards T-spawn, so they're going to stay alive. But Merbit, he's on the hunt. He knows what's up.
He wants even more. More and more and more. The greedy Merbit. I mean, taking them all down. Tries to hide, but can't do it in the end. And, well, 15-2. It's going to be the same buy, or nigh on the same buy, coming up. As EURONICS are taking this in style. They managed to dominate that second map with a 16-2, and they're looking to equal it here. That would be absolutely ridiculous. 32-4. That's disgusting.
Yeah. It is pretty wild. Just the sheer damage they've been able to do in these rounds as well. The fact that Endpoint, after Inferno, have only been able to accumulate 4 rounds is just a ridiculous statistic there.
4 rounds so far.
I don't know, Tom. I feel like they've probably lost it with this one. 4 CZs, 1 scout on Lazar. Pulse is already dead. He's pushed to try and take the fight against Merbit. Obviously, the AK actually has range.
Maybe they're like fairies, and like they die if you don't believe in them. So you've got to believe in them again, Jackie, and then they'll come back.
I think they're already dead, Tom.
Oh. Okay. So I was trying to bring some hope.
I mean, there isn't really much
Candle
left.
at the end of that tunnel.
You've
just blown it out.
the candle out. It's gone. It was never really there the entire time. Lazar, though, with the backtrack, is going to be able to hit a shot as he backpedals away, trying to find some kind of safety. But EURONICS, this is probably going to be their 16-2 victory on the second map and project them into the grand final to duke it out against Asterion, to try and take themselves that 50k pie. As the only one that's left is Thomas. Everybody's left the server, of course, and Thomas, going to be pushing in to see what he can do.
It's mean. Poor Thomas.
Only Max estates. Thomas gets one, and that's game.